I've been running a physical products business for over 25 years, and if someone came to me today and said they wanted to start one, I'd probably talk them out of it. But before I get into why, hey, I'm Eric. I'm a mechanical engineer and auto enthusiast who escaped the corporate world over 25 years ago when I started my own business. Today, I want to talk about something I wish I had known before I started: what building a physical products business actually involves. Because when I started, this was one of the few realistic options available. But that's not true anymore. Today, you have options I never had, and knowing the difference could save you years of hard work and a lot of money. My business creates and sells aftermarket automotive products for off-road vehicles specifically. So it's a physical products company. I design every product myself, such as skid plates that protect the underside of off-road vehicles. I started the company because I enjoyed going off-road, but I didn't enjoy destroying my new Jeep, and there wasn't much available at the time to protect it. Now, I want to be clear about something. I don't actually do much of the manufacturing myself. I design the parts. Other companies do the laser cutting, the press brake work, the welding, powder coating, the zinc plating. We get everything here, we package everything here, we ship it from here, but it's not really like I have a factory. It's still very much a physical products business though, and that distinction matters because even without doing manufacturing myself, the complexity is significant. Here's the thing about physical products that most people don't think about until they're already into it: inventory. Unless you're making each item yourself per order, you can't just order one piece and sell one piece. You have to buy in quantity to get a reasonable price so that you can then sell it at a profit. And to make sure that you have what is ordered when it's ordered. You see, people don't like waiting for their purchases. But when you buy in quantity, you're now holding inventory. And inventory takes up space, real physical space, that also costs money. And while it's sitting there, you may learn that your design needs to be improved. Because once customers start using your product, you may learn that, oh, if I put a rounded corner here, or maybe if I stretch that hole into a slot, it would work better and make your customers happier and more satisfied with what you sold them. And you may end up with a warehouse full of the old version. Potentially a version that needs to be either modified, sold at a discount, or thrown out. Designing a product that actually works, every time in virtually every situation, is genuinely hard and takes some real engineering. But here's what most people don't realize: the design is just the beginning. Getting it made cost effectively, possibly designing and making tooling, determining the pricing, the packaging, the marketing, and how it will be sold, that's a whole series of separate challenges. And then there's the business itself. And one topic that nobody likes to think about: insurance, and especially liability insurance. When you're selling physical products, especially anything related to vehicles or safety or healthcare, I suppose, you need real coverage. I carry $1 million product liability policy on top of my other business insurance. And that's not optional when you're selling wholesale to larger companies who are then reselling your product. If something goes wrong with that product, even if it wasn't your fault, you're exposed to lawsuits. I've had a couple of people suggest that I design all kinds of things over the years. Someone recently suggested that I make something to help, I think it was disabled people, go up and down stairs. And my first thought wasn't, hey, that's a great idea. It was, imagine the liability on that. And then I thought, that's going to be expensive to develop. And then, that's far easier said than done. That's kind of the mindset you develop after 25 years of doing this. But let me talk about employees for a minute, because this is something people really don't think through either. When you're building a business around something that you love, a hobby or a passion of yours, your friends may want to be part of it. They're excited for you. They want to support you. And honestly, it feels good to bring people you care about into something that you're building and that you're passionate about. I get it. I've been there. But here's what I've learned the hard way. Hiring friends is often a mistake. Their skills may have nothing to do with what you actually need. Their standards may not be up to yours. I've hired friends based on their enthusiasm and their employment situation, not because they had skills that complemented mine. And what that meant in practice was that I had to teach nearly every single employee how to do their job. Every one of them. I was never smart enough, apparently, to hire someone who knew how to do things that I didn't know how to do. And then there's the other side of it. Once someone's been with you for a while, working with you for a while, things can change. They get comfortable. The job isn't as exciting as they thought it would be. Turns out the day-to-day reality isn't quite as glamorous as being part of a cool company seemed to be at first. And then they may start feeling a bit entitled. Their effort drops, but their expectations don't. And now you're in the worst possible situation. You have to discipline or even fire a friend, which is genuinely hard. And there's a good chance it ends the friendship. I've experienced that too. Now, add the financial reality on top of all of that. Payroll doesn't stop because sales slowed down that month. You still owe your employees, whether business is good or not. And payroll isn't just what you pay them. There's workers' compensation insurance, which can be surprisingly expensive. There's payroll accounting. Either you pay a company to handle it, which is hard to justify when you've only got 2 or 3 people, or you do it yourself and eat the time and the aggravation of it. None of this shows up in the business plan that most people sketch out when they've got a great product idea, but it's all real and it all costs money. If you're working through any of this and want to talk it through one-on-one, I do offer coaching calls. The link is in the description. No pressure, just a conversation. Now, let's talk about what I'd actually recommend instead. So with all that in mind, the inventory, insurance, employee headaches, etc., what would I actually recommend to someone who has a great product idea? I'd tell them to start something else first. Before you spend a dime on inventory or tooling or insurance, use the free tools that didn't exist when I started. Build an audience online, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform makes sense for what you're creating or what you're wanting to do or even what you're just comfortable with. Talk about the problem you're trying to solve. Show your process. Get people interested and invested in what you're building before you've manufactured even a single unit. That way, when you're ready to launch, you already have people wanting it, waiting for it. There's even the option of crowdfunding. There are platforms where people essentially pre-order your product before it exists. I mean, that does 2 things immediately. It tells you whether there's real demand, and it gives you actual cash to fund the first production run. I'll be honest, I don't have personal experience with that yet, but the concept is sound, and it's exactly the kind of validation I wish had been available when I started. So build the digital side first. Build an audience first. Build income that can pay your bills first. Get to where you've got money left over. Money you could afford to lose. And then, if you still want to build a physical product business, go ahead and do it. Because at that point, you've already got something else established. You're not betting everything on inventory and insurance and minimum order quantities. I mean, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying don't do it first. And that definitely don't do it blind. So why am I talking about all of this on a YouTube channel when I already have a physical products business? Well, here's the honest answer. My business has been running for over 25 years. For most of that time, it supported me and gave me the independence I wanted. But businesses go through cycles. Markets shift. Competition changes. And the industry that I've been a part of has had some significant changes in downturn even in the last few years. My sales have dropped considerably. And at the same time, my business partner has stepped back to part-time. She's basically retired. So I'm running what has never really been a one-person business, mostly by myself. And I can't afford to hire anyone right now. That's the situation that pushed me to start building something new, something online, something digital, something that doesn't require inventory or employees and that I can do from anywhere. I want to be clear, I'm not telling you my business is done. It's actually showing signs of recovering. But what I realized through this whole experience is something I probably should have figured out a long time ago. Depending on one income stream is a serious risk. It doesn't matter how good your product is or how long you've been in business. Things outside your control can change your situation fast. So that's what this channel is about. Not retirement. I really have no intention of retiring. It's about building income. It doesn't require an employer. It doesn't require a warehouse. It doesn't put you in a position where one bad year threatens everything you've built. I don't regret building my business. Over 25 years of working for myself, starting my day when I wanted to, no commute for 10 years with only a short commute today, no office politics, no asking permission to take a day off. That's worth a lot. But I went into it the hard way because there were no online or digital options when I started, and I learned most of what I know by living through it. Now, I'm not here to talk to you out of building something. I'm here to make sure that you know what you're getting into and that you give yourself the best possible chance of actually making it work. If any of this resonated with you, please subscribe. I put up videos regularly about building income outside the traditional employment system. And again, if you want to talk through your specific situation one-on-one, I do offer coaching calls. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.